This is an It Came From GenX video.
All right, hey everybody, welcome to It Came From GenX. Good to be back in the saddle again. I am Keith Porter. And I'm looking at a couple of mooks on my screen here. Looks like the skin bone Mike Skinner.
Got the wrong video feed?
No. That's correct. Mike Skinner, aka Skin Bone, and my man, the Fish, Brian Fisher. Hey, we are good to be back together again. What's going on, everybody? How you doing, Fish?
Doing well, man. Great weekend. Did a nice live event with my other show with Dean on Friday.
Man, that was awesome.
Convincing Idiots podcast over at Ignite Brewing Company. That was a lot of fun. Saw Thor. We'll talk about that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some good family friend time. Coopers came over for a backyard movie on the weekend, so that was a lot of fun. So yeah, just a nice weekend.
I was going to come to the Convincing Idiots thing, but I was recording that night. But I did chime in afterwards, and I was trying to bid on Dean's feet. Apparently, I didn't get any feedback, so we'll talk about that later. So.
Yeah, we'll do more of those, but yeah, thank you.
That was great. Skinbone, what's going on, brother?
Hey, it's good to be back. Nice trip to Florida. It was hotter than can be, but when you sit in a lazy river with your best friend and compadre that I have with Marcy, we didn't do a damn thing for the whole time, but sit in the water. So it was absolutely perfect.
Yeah, you were talking about it yesterday, boy. I was just envious. That sounded so marvelous, man. But we're glad you made it back safely.
Absolutely.
I am not happy about Marcy cutting her hair. Well, you know, that should be a subject on the show tonight, but I'm gonna let it go.
We definitely have the same opinion. I'm not a big fan of it, but you know what? Like I told you, I have no control over her.
Listen, she's still beautiful. It's just I like long hair, so whatever. It's all good though. Anyway, I had a great weekend as well. Just a recording. Friday night, got the sisters out Saturday to the movies to see, as we talked about, Thor, Love and Thunder. Had a great weekend with my sister, and I was back recording Sunday. Had a great Sunday in church. So I am raring to go. And we didn't have a show last week.
Nope.
And there was a lot going on in our community that we certainly need to address. So we'll get things cooking as soon as Fish tell them where they can find the show.
All right. Or you might be listening to us on WMVU.org, Global Internet Radio, Mondays from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern. Just pull up their site, live listen to us right there, and also their other fine content of the podcast and music and all that good stuff there. Listen to us whenever you want to on demand. It can be found on many podcast platforms, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and more. Just pull up wherever you listen to podcasts, search It Came From GenX, give us a subscribe, and rating and review, if you will, as well. And as we publish new episodes every week, they'll pop in your podcast feed free of charge. All show information found in two main places. Our Linktree account. Just Google It Came From GenX Linktree. There'll simply be a page with links to our social media where you can listen to us, our YouTube channel, It Came From GenX, Facebook, etc., and our website, itcamefromgenx.wordpress.com. All show information is there as well. Also links to where you can listen to us, links to videos, promos, bios, and ways you can help the show through our Patreon account if you wish to donate there, all through our website as well. So best thing you do if you like our stuff, give us a like, follow, share, subscribe, tell a friend. That's how we grow a little bit, and we appreciate your support out there. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. And by the time you listen to this show, if you're in the Akron, Canton area, Mixed Nuts will be at Lou's on Lincoln Way, Saturday the 16th. Should be a great night, so come on out and join us. And we want to say thanks to our listeners. We got listeners starting to grow all over the place, overseas, different countries.
Yeah.
We got a great base for me in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I couldn't be happier about that. And we
Well,
want to say thank you. Huh? What?
I said, well, that's okay.
Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. And so we want to say thank you to all you guys, and we appreciate you. Thank you to our friends over at Family Medical City Hospital, and to our good friends at Star Chiropractic and Wellness out in Cuyahoga Falls. And I want to mention another business today, Mac Pharmacy, in the same plaza as Dave's Market here in Akron. It is a compound pharmacy. You guys ever heard of a compound pharmacy?
No.
They have a
That's-
lab within the pharmacy, and they
Okay.
can make certain medications tailored to your needs. Just phenomenal.
Hmm.
They're best.
Is
one
this
of the
legal?
best- No. Yes, of course it's legal.
Knock 3 times on the door.
Right. It's a great staff over there, Mac Pharmacy, run by one of the nicest gentlemen I've ever met in my life by the name of Sharif. And you couldn't ask for a better, more personal staff. They'll bring your prescriptions out to your car if you pull up. They'll deliver them to your house. I mean, it's just the most personal service. So I want to say thank you and a shout out to them. All right.
So, Fish, we know what kind of places that we have to knock 3 times when we're with Porter, don't we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't appreciate that.
Like the little door opens up.
I don't
what's the
appreciate that. Shut up.
Porterhouse password. Shh.
Hey, how about some
Oh,
world
those were the
news, Skinner?
days. Those were the days.
I don't know what you're talking about. World news, Skinner.
All right. So before we talk about local stuff that's been going on the last couple weeks, I wanted to talk to you about some trolling. That's a term that become very famous in social media. There is a lady who had been suffering from a condition called, I think it's called mastitis. It is when the milk duct in the breast becomes clogged to where she cannot breastfeed her baby. So they tried pumping. They tried feeding the baby more than one occasion, more so than normal, and the duct just becomes clogged for whatever reason. So they had the idea, well, the pumping's not working and the baby's not getting this thing to flow, so let's try it with my husband. And sure enough, the husband was able to help this young lady free the duct so she could feed her baby. Now, you can have opinions how you want with the actual subject matter. My problem is the trolls out there that have absolutely lambasted this lady over TikTok and other social medias because they did what they did. Now,
Real quick, it's called mastitis, just for the record.
mastitis. Okay, I wasn't quite sure what that was, how it was pronounced. First of all, don't air this stuff on social media. It started with Facebook.
Right.
Now it's with TikTok. There are just certain things you don't air out there for everyone to see. Now, I feel for the lady. I've had 5 children of my own. I've been around the grandbabies, women. That's a painful problem that they have when those milk ducts become clogged. I get it. But the whole world doesn't need to know about it, is what I'm getting at. So and shame on this woman they call out on this article. This woman's trolling this young lady like there's no business. I can understand if it's a smart ass dude, wanting to play, pranks on whatever. But another woman who may or may not have had breastfeeding issues in her past, giving this lady all kinds of crap. And I don't agree with that either. So mixed feelings, but the most important thing, and I'll get you guys' take, is don't put this crap on social media and you won't have any issues. Porter, you're itching to say something. Go for it, bud.
No, I really wasn't. I'm just like, this is just a commonality among pick your subject. For some reason, we're talking about mastitis right now, but just the bravery that comes with hitting the send button. You know,
That's a good way of putting it.
it's just shameful that everybody right now is emboldened to criticize, to humiliate, to ostracize, to do whatever, you know, because the the way that they can disassociate themselves from a person through social media. You know, there's so much been said that you wouldn't say to a person's face, but you'll certainly say it to them on Facebook or whatnot. So it's not anything new, and it's just really sad that that's the world we're living in right now. Um, People can ruin a life through
Yeah.
through this type of stuff, and
Absolutely.
there need to be severe penalties for it. Bish?
Yeah, I don't know the context they put that out there. Maybe they put it out there trying to help others, perhaps. I don't
Later
know.
in that story, they said instead of trolling this lady, you should be praising her because she could be
Yeah.
helping others having the same problem. So I get that kind of point of view, but yeah, go ahead.
I mean, there's a side, like you say, to where anything you put out there publicly, to where now, first of all, you can put it up, you can put something out there to where only your followers can see. You don't have to make it public necessarily, right? Like your
Right.
family, your friends, you could share it to more of a close knit group. But so I guess you have to expect maybe some ridicule if you're putting something out there publicly. But the same token, I'm with you. Just get a life, people. I mean, if the lady, you can argue. I mean, don't put it out there, sure. But like you say, just I don't understand what time people have. I don't. I can barely respond to a tweet that I find interesting and give somebody a compliment, let alone. Can't hear you, Keith. Your audio's out.
I've always said I don't understand
Yeah.
how people have so much time to run other people's life. It
Right.
takes 24/7 to run mine, and I need some help.
It's
Why does
it's
everybody got this
amazing.
time to run everybody else's life?
I tell you what, if you guys need something to do out there, start yourself a podcast, and all of a sudden you will find you have a lot of free time. It goes right out the window, right?
Oh my
So
gosh.
yeah, so I don't
Okay.
get it.
All right. Thanks, Skinner. All right. Is that all you got for us today, buddy?
Well, as everybody knows, our fans know, we're from the Akron, Ohio area, and things are pretty high alert right now. There's a
Yes.
curfew of 10 p.m. That's been in effect for about a week now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mr. Jalen Walker was shot and killed by the Akron police. I don't know quite, was that about 10, maybe 2 weeks ago? I think it was right before we went in Florida. I apologize, I don't know the exact date, but I've heard a lot of different takes from a lot of different people on this. And I wanted to at least bring this up so it's in the ears of our listeners.
Oh yeah.
My first reaction was, why was there 90 shots fired with 8 officers? Because the first thing that comes to mind is somebody reloaded. My next question is why was there 8 officers chasing this guy by foot in the area that they were in? And my third question is why was he in a high pursuit chase that got called off in the Portage Lakes area in Franklin Township? Got called off due to safety reasons. He was running from the police the night before. Now, those are just 3 takes, 3 situations, 3 questions that I have that I'm never going to get the answers for. And man, I feel for his family. I feel for the community in Akron. I feel for these police officers. I don't think anybody knows what's happened. And it's probably going to take a long time to sort all this out.
Right. Well, let's just talk about what we do know. I'm gonna try to talk about this without my blood boiling over because I am at my wits' end. This boy was not shot by the police; he was murdered. He was murdered. Now, let's get the elephant out the room. The problem when things like this happen is people always want there to be accountability on one side. There has to be accountability on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
As far as Mr. Walker is concerned, my first thought was, why are you? It's 2022. You've seen what has happened to people, especially young black men, driving at night. Why are you driving without a license? And getting into trouble and all this. And why? Why would you put yourself in that position? Why would you run from the police after you've seen what's been going on around here?
Mhm.
Why? And I couldn't understand that. Now let me tell you something. I know a lot of people that know this young man, including my niece. Let me tell you what she told me, which made me very sad if it's true. She said, "Kid, I wonder if Jalen committed suicide by cop." I was like, "Why would
That's
you say that?"
that's the
You know,
rumor.
Yeah, she
that
said
is the rumor.
he
And
had
Miss
lost his,
Marcy,
yeah,
before the show, she said, "Are you guys going to talk about the police shooting?" And I
right.
said, "Probably so." And she says, everything that I've heard, it sounds like he was trying to commit suicide by cop.
So that is a strong possibility. With that being
Man, oh
said,
man.
it doesn't mean it should have happened. Okay.
Correct.
So the questions you ask, why was this guy shot 90 times? There's 8 officers. Great questions like that. I got a lot too. Why are you shooting somebody like that that's running away? Oh, all these other things that come into play are great. But my question is this, and this is why people are angry, and I'm angry, and I'm tired of it. Why do we have 3 white mass murderers in the last 5 years arrested without a shot? One was even taken through drive-through to get a sandwich. But every time a little 8-year-old black kid is playing in a park or something and he gets murdered, why does white guys storm the freaking nation's capital with automatic weapons and nothing happens? Could you imagine if they were black, what would have happened? They'd have called the National Guard and shots would have been fired. I'm just tired of it. If this kid committed suicide, that's a whole nother story. But other than that, I'll just say that to people, and especially young black men, no, stuff ain't right. Stop putting yourself in stupid situations where stuff ain't right, and you're probably going to end up with a short end of the stick. Walking around carrying guns, you got a felony or license, and all this other stupid stuff has got to stop. It doesn't excuse being murdered by the police. And they need to answer for that. Now, with that being said, also, I read a disturbing story today. I don't know if you guys heard the comments from the Akron police chief as of today. And I don't know how he's verifying this, but he said there is a bounty out on the officers who were involved in this shooting. Now, that bounty right now is kind of benign because their names haven't been released.
I was going to say, how do they know who these officers are?
Well, because they're eventually going to be released. They're going to have to be released sooner or later.
Gotcha.
So if that is true, I'll just say to people, and I ain't talking to black people because there was a whole lot of white folks marching too. They're sick of this crap.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot have anarchy on the police department. We just can't do it, man. We can't do it. There's this emboldenment, this disrespect towards law enforcement right now that is going to be our downfall if we don't stop it. We got to find smarter ways to get rid of these cops that don't belong on the force. But we can't start just, don't want to show ID. I don't have to talk to you. All this crazy, stupid stuff and then putting bounties out on police officers. There ain't no good going to come from this. We got to stop this stupid stuff, man. We got to stop thinking that we're above the law because we've had, law enforcement officers do some horrific things. There's other ways to combat that, but it can't be like this. So that's all I got to say.
No, go ahead, Fish. All I was going to say is very well said, Porter.
Yeah, it's a tough situation, man. I don't know. As you guys know me, I have friends that are. Well, we have friends that's on the police force as well, so you definitely get different perspectives for sure.
Right.
Yes. May not agree with all perspectives all the time, but I hear both perspectives for right or for wrong. But yeah, it's a tough one. Like you said, Keith. I agree as well. Does it seem excessive? Yeah, definitely. The other side of it too, like you said, everybody at the end of the day, don't run. I don't care who you are, what color you are, or anything. But if you run from the police, you're already putting yourself and people around you in a dangerous position. I mean, somebody could have got killed in a high-speed chase out there on the street when you're running away. I don't know. Like you said, the rumor is what you said. You know, I hear as well that perhaps he turned and acted like he was drawing something to shoot. He did shoot apparently at the police while he was running in the car, shot at the police, which apparently obviously takes to a whole other level of chase. Did that many officers need to chase and shoot? I don't know. I mean, things happen so quickly. At the end of the day, it's shame. It sounds like everything could have been avoided with things going differently, people making different decisions on both sides, I guess. But I don't know. It's just very unfortunate for everybody involved, and like you say, for the community at large. So
when that kid turned, he had no weapon in his hands, and even if it took 90 shots.
No, I get it.
I don't know.
I get it, Porter. My understanding that there was a weapon found in the vehicle, and that was discharged at the police during the chase.
Yeah, because when he ran, the pictures are on Facebook. There was nothing in his hands. Clear as day, there's nothing in his hands.
But the ball game changed when he shot at the police inside his car. I hate to say it. At least that's my perspective.
Well,
I don't know how truthful that is.
When this first happened, the first thing I said was, I am all for police officers making sure they go home at night. When a shot is fired, you just up the stakes,
right,
to a game that ain't going to end well.
For anybody,
there is no timeout. I changed my mind when you fire at the police. But the police cannot let anger and emotion take over in the middle of something like this.
You're absolutely correct on that.
Yeah. And there's supposed to be equal protection under the law, and it ain't equal. And that's the problem.
That's tough. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough out there, man. I mean, I also know, again, this has nothing to do with this situation here. I'm talking about bigger picture, long-term stuff. I can speak for this here. I mean, the police having a hard time hiring people.
Yeah.
I mean, the Akron police, I mean, they are out recruiting
what happened
like
with
crazy.
It's happening with police officers. They're like, you know what? We're not being protected. Far as they can't do anything right now. And I'm talking about the good police officers that can't even do a traffic stop right now because everybody's got a camera in their face and it's ridiculous. And those are the ones I'm talking about. This is anarchy on the police, and it needs to stop.
That's right.
Has to be accountability on every side, and this stupid stuff, where screw the police. I understand people are angry. I understand people are fed up, especially black people. I get it. God knows I get it, man. I'm so fed up right now. I don't know what to do. It's just one after another. And it's like everybody keeps making excuses when it happens. How many of them does it need to be? And then when we see white kids shoot 5 people on the 4th of July and don't even get tased. I mean, come on, man. We got to stop this crazy stuff. It's terrible. It's awful. But, if I was talking to a group of black people, I would tell them, cut out the stupid stuff. There's one surefire way to not guarantee, but pretty close guarantee that you won't have an issue. Stop the stupid stuff, and that goes for everybody.
You hit it. You could say that to the entire society.
Yeah, that goes for everybody.
Stop doing stupid stuff.
Stop doing stupid stuff.
Right.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you, Skinner.
Yep.
Tough story. Okay. Little sports and music here. Okay, guys, since I'm in a ranting mood, talking about sports, my beloved Pittsburgh Steelers played for years at the famous, iconic Three Rivers Stadium, named for the 3 rivers that run right into Pittsburgh. The Ohio, the Monongahela, and I forget the third one at the moment. But corporate sponsorship started creeping into the NFL. They needed money to buy new stadiums, and they had to give in to these corporations demanding their name get put on the stadium. Was it 30, 40 years ago? And we started losing the great Candlestick Park, and we started getting Qualcomm Stadium. We lost Three River Stadium, and we got Heinz Field. All this crazy stuff. There's no more Soldier Field. All these good names. But as a Steelers fan, we grew to appreciate it and make it cool. You got to play at the big ketchup bottle. They got 2 giant ketchup bottles on both sides of the scoreboard. Now we find out that deal is through. They are no longer sponsored. One stepped in at the last minute, and the Steelers are changing the name of their stadium to Acrisure Stadium. I never heard such stupidity in all my days. First of all, and I ain't trying to be mean against my fellow Steelers fans, but half of them ain't gonna be able to pronounce it.
Imagine
Okay?
John Facenda. Here we are at the Acrisure Stadium.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
dude! At least when all this started happening in Cleveland, we're gonna call this Jacobs Field. Okay, we'll call it the Jake. Well, we're gonna call this Quicken Loans Arena. Well, we'll call it the Q. Well, we're gonna call this Gun Arena. Well, we'll call it the Gun. That was all cool. What are you gonna call this? The Ack? Is something in your throat? No. What?
Not knowing what the business is, the name sounds like a geriatric drink.
Doesn't it?
Yeah,
Give me some
Acrisure.
Acrisure. That'll fix him up. His
Glad
blood
I have my
sugar's low or
Acrisure.
something.
Glad I have my Acrisure. I'm really regular right now.
Or a new type of car, the electric car. The new 2022 Acrisure.
That I like that. That's not bad.
Oh my God, it's just ridiculous. Why couldn't you have a name like? Why couldn't you do this? Three River Stadium, sponsored by Acrisure. Why
Like
can't
the
you do something like that? Why
Boston
you,
Garden does that. They call it the Garden. They try to do at least something with
try to do
traditional
something,
name.
man. So
Yeah.
I am just fed up. So guys, remember the names of the great stadiums. What were any of your favorite stadium or arena names? Starting with you, Fish.
Well, like around here, I mean, you had the old Coliseum, the Richfield Coliseum. That was a great name for an old venue.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Progressive Field, like you say, or Jacobs Field. Excuse me, the Jacobs Field. It was like you say, the Jake. It was the new stadium at the time. It was cool. I just, frankly, just the name of the team. Like Cleveland Brown Stadium. That was fine. That's good. And then being a Cowboys fan, Texas Stadium. That's very fitting for the Dallas Cowboys to play at Texas Stadium.
Put Texas on anything, it's cool.
Yeah. Is there any left? You have Lambeau Field, and you have, I think Soldier Field is still.
I think Soldier Field still is too. What I thought about when I said
Green Bay, Lambeau, but that's about it though.
Right.
Not many left.
No.
Boston Garden, like I mentioned, that's another.
Yeah, Boston Garden. I mean,
the Forum, the Spectrum.
The Forum is definitely one that's missed. The Spectrum, those were great places. Madison Square Garden will never change.
No.
So that we still have that one. I certainly missed Three Rivers. I was there the last day, the last game there, and got a piece of rock. I don't have a clue where it is at the moment, but I was there the last season for that. Okay, Skinner. Any iconic stadiums or arenas you remember you like?
I really enjoyed going to the ballpark at Arlington, which is where the Texas Rangers play baseball at. Mm-hmm. At the time, it was built right before or right after Jacobs Field was built for the Cleveland Indians. Mm-hmm. And it was by the same architect. So you could see glimpses of Cleveland Stadium, baseball stadium, in the ballpark at Arlington. You mentioned Qualcomm Stadium out there in San Diego, where the San Diego Chargers used to play. I forget what it was called before then, but it had a cool name before it was Qualcomm Stadium. Candlestick Park in San Francisco.
That was a great name. I love that one.
And Soldier Field. Have you guys ever been to Soldier Field?
No.
As a military veteran, I absolutely had goosebumps from head to toe when I walked on that property. It is the coolest place. I'm not a big Chicago Bears fan, but I absolutely adore and love their stadium.
It looks really cool with the pillars and everything up there.
Yes. If you go to Chicago, you got to go to Soldier Field. There's nothing like it in the country.
Wow. Okay. So we still got Lambeau Field. We still have Hold on, hang on, let's
Skanky
go.
Stadium.
Skanky. Wow. Not bitter there, are you?
What's Boston?
And Fenway, I don't think
Fenway. The
yeah,
new
that one never
Fenway.
changed. Atlanta Falcons had a great one, the Georgia Dome.
Yeah.
That was
And the
great.
domes, the Silver Dome, the Lions, the Super
Yeah.
Dome, the
Kansas City
Saints.
still has Arrowhead. That's a great name.
Yep.
Yeah, good old Yankee Stadium. That'll always probably be there. Dodger Stadium, Wrigley Field. How about that one, right?
They'll never change
Another
that either.
ballpark. Another
Never
great
change that.
ballpark.
Yeah, that was a great one. So I don't know, man. This is just the world we're living in right now. Akron Shooter Stadium, Steelers fans, I feel for you. I'm with you. So all right. Okay.
It ain't going away.
No,
Nope.
not no time sure.
That's
Now
for
they
sure.
put that money up. Okay, while we're
Start
talking about
telling
sports,
Steeler fans now that you need to do the pronunciation there so they can understand.
yeah, we're gonna get some lessons on the internet. Akron Sure. I'm at the AC, something. I don't know. I'll work on it.
I'm at the
Something in your throat, fish. All right. Okay, hey guys. Sad story, but we already covered it last month. We had to report the untimely death of former Dallas Cowboy running back Marion Barber. A young Marion Barber, 38 years old.
Man.
And there was no determination of reason for death at the time. Well, today, after an autopsy, it has been released that he has passed away from heat stroke.
Absolutely incredible.
I can't tell you how shocked I was to hear this, and it's very upsetting. So this is the Gen X story that I got from this. Well, I wouldn't say it's a Gen X story, but this is what I got from this. Of course, we don't want to hear about anybody passing away in regards to athletes or whatever, but it bothers me when somebody passes away from something and they had the means to make sure it never happened. It just seems like such a waste for me. Like we had Dwayne Haskins, and it was reported that he ran out of gas.
Yep.
I mean, to hear that a millionaire ran out of gas, that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
You're a celebrity. You know what I mean? People are crazy. That should never happen. When something should happen to your vehicle, you can't avoid that. But running out of gas, I mean, he has to feel really, I don't want to talk ill of the dead, but wow, man. Hey, all this because I ran out of gas. I don't know the details of this, but heat stroke, I don't know what situation he was in, but that sounds really, really bad. Any thoughts, Skinner?
I was shocked when we were talking prior to the show, and I saw that a heat stroke at 38 years old. The man played for the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas Stadium, where the heat index is over 100, well into October and November. So they've got all their training camps, all that time, and then this man unfortunately loses his life due to that heat stroke. I don't understand it. But do we know where he was? Was he at home? Was he in a vehicle?
He was at home, yes. They found him in his apartment. He was leasing an apartment.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling. Like you said, with Haskins losing, running out of gas. How does this stuff happen with and I want to say with people with money?
You got to make sure it doesn't happen.
And that goes for everybody. That doesn't mean just millionaire athletes.
Let me tell you something. I'm 52 years old right now. I've been playing drums a long time. You guys know my knees hurt, my back hurt, and I still play live music. I don't make a lot of money by no stretch of the imagination. But right now, the money that I make playing shows, I don't care if I don't get a dime because I pay people to carry my stuff. Because I just can't do it right now. I don't need that headache. So I just rather pay for it. How do you make millions of dollars and find yourself in some of these situations? Heat stroke, running out of gas. I don't understand that. Should never happen.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish I
Okay.
knew the answer to that.
Fish, any
But-
thoughts?
Well,
You're-
it just, you're a younger person and you're invincible and you probably pushed himself too, who knows? Maybe he
Mhm.
pushed himself too hard, didn't take the right precautions, didn't hydrate. I don't know the whole scenario. And Haskins,
He should know that as an
it's
athlete.
just young kid stuff.
Yeah,
I can make it. You don't pay attention.
Yeah. These
I
are
don't
the
know.
kind of things they should be teaching these young kids when they come into the NFL and the NBA. Don't get caught in these situations. You know what I mean?
Sure.
These
Right,
are simple life lessons,
Yeah.
truthfully.
Yeah, right. But it's exemplified when you're somebody famous. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
got a lot of money.
Right.
You don't want to be a millionaire walking up and down the streets on the highway. People are crazy, man. Okay.
Make
All right,
sure
guys.
you do a podcast. You have plenty of hydration. Stuff like that.
That's right, Fish.
That's right.
Wait,
Stay
I
hydrated.
forgot my drink. Oh my gosh. No wonder I'm sitting here freaking out. All right. Anyway, guys, keeping up with sports. The Raiders. I often said that if I wasn't a Steelers fan, I'd be a Raiders fan. And
I'm sorry.
you know what? When you get a real football team, talk to me. So anyway, the Raiders, boy, you're talking about just leading the NFL as far as progressive movement. They just hired the first black woman to serve as the NFL organization's team president. I am shocked at this move. I applaud them at this move, and at the same time, I don't like the move. I like the I'm shocked at this move because it's the Raiders, but then again, like I said, they've been leading the league in progressive movements lately.
Yeah.
I
For years.
like the move because they show diversity.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like the move because, and this has nothing to do with this being a woman. This goes for a man as well. I don't like anybody in key positions in the NFL and you never played the game. Now, what I'm saying is you can be a great coach and never play. Some people are coaches and not players, okay? I get that. But when you're talking about a president, there's going to be situations come up that on the surface are going to sound like it's not cool and you ain't going to like it. But somebody who's been there and been in the trenches might say, I get where they're coming from. I just kind of bothers me. Your thoughts, Fish?
I think her husband was an ex-player, if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah, but
maybe
she wasn't.
That's true. That's true. So you wouldn't hire her because of his credentials, obviously. But I don't know much about her. I read her credentials. I mean, I saw some of her commentary. Definitely seems sharp and bright and all that stuff. So I'm sure he didn't hire her for her experience in the game, obviously, because there isn't any. But yeah, at the end of the day, let's see what happens. And like I said, the Raiders have been.
I mean, she might do a great job. But I'm just saying my preference. Skinner?
Well, first thing I could say to you is that her being a non-football person, she better surround herself with football people.
Okay, great point. Great point.
So yeah, she didn't play football, and
listen to them. Surround yourself and listen to them.
You see this in the baseball. Baseball. You see it in hockey. You see it in basketball. People that have never played the game surround themselves with players and people that have been around the game the entire lives for the advice on those situations that they need the player perspective. And I'm hoping that she will take advantage of that.
Now, I like what you said, and that makes sense. But with that being said, that's why I like to see people who have played the game and paid their dues get these positions. So,
but just because you played a game, do you deserve to be a president of an organization?
No, but there are people who played the game. Doesn't mean everybody. I'm talking about the ones that do.
I got you. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what? One of my biggest disappointments in President Clinton was during that whole marijuana thing. And I was disappointed when he said, he backtracked and said, I didn't inhale. I was so disappointed in him. Like, why don't these people just let everybody know they're a human being?
I
like
did not
anybody
have
else.
sexual relations either.
Right. Just let people know that you were young once, just like everybody else. Let people know that you experimented just like everybody else. And I thought, you know what? If I'm a president, it's going to be pushing legislation on drug use. I think I might like to have one who's been there, kind of understands it a little bit. So anyway, that's just my thoughts. But congratulations. I am sorry I did not say her name. Her name is Sandra Douglas. Sandra Douglas Morgan. She agreed to join the Raiders family. And Mark Davis, the owner, said her experience, integrity, and passion for the community will be valuable to our organization. So kudos to Mark Davis, and kudos to Sandra Douglas Morgan, beautiful lady, and I hope she does a great job. Okay, real quick, guys, my last story, real quick, is some of the names that have been in the final selection for the Canton Pro Football Hall of Fame this year. Mike Shanahan and Mike Holmgren were the latest names added. And we got a list of a few people. I just want to throw some names out at you guys. And if any name hits you that you think should have been in there, you go ahead and call them out. We'll start first with you, Skinner. The names are Robert Kraft.
Not yet.
Kenny Anderson, Roger Craig, Billy White Shoes Johnson, Lester Hayes, and let's see, Mark Clayton, Sterling Sharp, Joe Jacoby,
Mark Clayton,
Joe Klecko, Jim Marshall, and Everson Walls. There's more, but I'll just leave it at those. Mark Clayton, you said. Why, Skinner?
He was part of. Make sure I got the right team. He was with the Miami Dolphins, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mark Clayton, Mark Duper, the duo. Yeah.
Yeah. The Duper and Clayton. That was a tandem that they broke all kinds of records during their time.
Yeah, and I wonder if that's what hurts them. I don't know what their numbers are, but I wonder if that's what's hurting them, because they were a duo, a tandem. They were great, but maybe not individual numbers, because he had both of them.
But his name sticks out over all of them, including Sterling Sharp, who
really
had a good career.
Sterling Sharp's career was just short. He was great, but he was short.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. You got to be kidding me. You got to tell me Lester Hayes ain't in the freaking Pro Football Hall of Fame?
That's surprising. Yeah.
That's the one that sticks out to me way over Mark Clayton.
I can agree with that.
Okay, what do you say, Fish?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Lester Hayes. I mean, I feel like he was an All-Pro for several years. And some of these guys victims of, like, Everson Walls was a great cornerback.
He was great.
He lives in infamy of the guy looking up at Dwight Clark catching that damn catch.
Yeah,
because that was his man. That was his
right. Yeah,
and, and he was a good cornerback. So I don't know.
Great. I loved Everson Walls, man. He was great.
I mean, he had some records over. I don't know. And Klecko seemed like he was a force with Gastineau for a long time in the Jets in the '80s. There, so I don't know.
Guys,
Jim Marshall's another one. By the way, Jim Marshall.
Jim Marshall, are you kidding me?
Yeah, he was. I don't know. You get that highlight where he's running a long way, but still. But yeah.
And I'm shocked at Roger Craig. He was one of the first
multi-champion.
He was one of the first hybrid running backs too, man.
Yeah.
He was catching the ball, running the ball.
Okay. He was good, but was he great?
Yes, he was great. Yeah, he was doing it before Marshall Faulk and the other guys were doing it.
Yeah.
He was unstoppable.
Multi-champion.
Billy White Shoes Johnson should have been in there, man. For more than just football reasons. He's just iconic. And Lester Hayes was a 5-time Pro Bowler.
Yeah. He had all the stick-em and stuff, but it was allowed at the time. I don't know.
I think that's what hurt him maybe a little bit.
I don't know.
That might hurt him a little bit. And I don't know, Kenny Anderson, he was a great too. I could see him getting in down the road, but not right now. So there's a lot of great. How about Randy Gradishar, another great name on there.
Yeah.
Clay Matthews Jr., he should be in there.
A lot of locals want him in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Mike Holmgren, no. With all this fiasco in Cleveland, they should keep him out another 10 years. How about that?
He'll be in at some point.
But I think, guys, Robert Kraft will eventually have a happy ending to his career and eventually get into the Hall of Fame.
The massage parlor Hall of Fame.
Oh, he's already in that one.
He's a bus down there at that part.
He's got a bus right next to mine. Is that Robert Kraft and Strong Keys?
That's right. Most frequent guests and quickest finishers. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Fisher, can we get some, I don't even know what it's called. Whatever. Go ahead.
Table for two, please.
Yes, you'd prefer something in our smoking area, Philippe?
Fine. How'd you know she smoked?
Teeth, Orlando. Tobacco stains give smokers away.
Not when you brush every day with Topol. Topol Smoker's Tooth Polish with fluoride safely removes newly deposited tobacco particles and helps clean away built-up stains.
Table for two, please. I have a charming table in our non-smoking area. No, we smoke. But your teeth, so clean. And he smokes.
Topol, the only toothpaste a smoker needs.
Some pop
Yes.
culture.
Yeah, pop culture.
Yeah. Okay, so we did have a couple deaths I want to talk about here to bring it down for a second here.
Oh, great. Come on, boss.
That's all right. That's all right. Monty Norman, I just got this in the news today, passed away July 11th today. 94 years of age. You may not know the name, but he was a music composer, and he composed the iconic James Bond theme. So way back in Dr. No in 1962, if you are a movie fan and even a casual James Bond fan, you probably could hum the James Bond theme. In my opinion, one of the most, arguably the most iconic movie theme of all time. As soon as that comes on, you know exactly what it is. You know exactly the movie. It definitely gets you hyped up if you're a James Bond fan. They work it into every single movie in some way, shape, or form. So, just again, terrific song. I know, Keith, you're a James Bond fan, so I don't know any of others work, but the theme is iconic. Go ahead.
Certainly didn't know his name, but the theme, I got to be honest with you, Fish, I trying to think of something bigger, and I can't.
Star Wars, maybe? The Star Wars
Star
music.
Wars, maybe.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. There's some big themes like that out there. Jaws and stuff.
There's something out
there. It's up there at that level.
The theme from Shaft.
Sure, it's up there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I hear that James Bond music, and it's so brilliant, musically speaking, because you've got all this great orchestration.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, you got surf guitar. Ding, 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 ding. It's just so cool, man. So I don't know if anything's bigger. Just a great, great song.
Yeah, absolutely. Skinner, any thoughts?
On top of the movies, I used to play the James Bond. I can't remember what series of Nintendo. Maybe it was 64.
Nintendo 64 was GoldenEye.
Yeah, and just that repeated song in that in that game, and it just iconic, like you said. It's up there with the best. And
now they have movies now, but this goes back to TV shows. I might put Mission Impossible.
Sure.
In a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
That's actually a good segment sometime to talk about most iconic movie things.
Yeah, that would be a great segment.
It's definitely will be up there. Okay. We also had, I'm not a anime fan myself, but certainly a lot of people are out there. The creator of Yu-Gi-Oh!, Takahashi Kazuki, was just found dead last Wednesday, 60 years of age, off the waters of Okinawa Island. He was out by himself. He had scuba gear on, so snorkeling gear on, excuse me. So looks like unfortunately something happened, and he passed away. But that spawned a very big series and a movie. Again, never watched it. Not quite my thing. But Keith, were you a Yu-Gi-Oh fan at all, or no?
Never watched it. Never got into it. Don't even know what it's about. It is mind blowing how big anime is.
Oh yeah.
You go on Netflix and it's just a whole section of anime. I've tried to get into it. Nothing's caught my attention. My son has me watching Attack on Titan.
Okay.
And it's good. It's okay. You know, I kind of lost interest after a few episodes. I'm going to give it another shot, try to finish this first season. But he's claims it's really great. I had another kid show up at my church 2 weeks ago. He claimed it was great, so I'm going to give it a shot. But I never got into anime. Just never kept my attention.
Okay. Scared about you, or maybe Mike Jr. was a fan growing up.
He was a Pokemon kid, but that was about it. Yeah, he never really was with him for anime at all.
Okay. All right. Well, he definitely had a lot of fans. So rest in peace, Mr. Kazuki.
Absolutely.
And we had another iconic actor pass away recently, also on Wednesday. 82 years of age. The great James Caan passed away. Yeah. So obviously, some of the most iconic movies of our generation, he was a star in, with The Godfather.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best, arguably the best Stephen King movie adaptation. It's definitely up there in Misery. That if you have not watched that movie in some time, go back and check that out. And Kathy Bates won an Oscar in that movie, but they played so well together. And you know what? Every year now, I watch James Caan at Christmas time in Elf. You know, there's probably a lot of fans, a lot of younger people out there that don't have any idea that James Caan was in The Godfather, but they know him as the dad in Elf.
Mm-hmm.
And he put himself in one of the more iconic Christmas movies of our generation with Elf. Yeah, he was great in that movie as well. So great actor. He also has a lot of fun appearances on The Simpsons over the years. He could make fun of himself. I don't know. I thought he was great. Just had the look and the voice, and he was a solid actor, in my opinion. Keith, what do you think about the late great James Caan?
I thought he was a fantastic actor. When I hear James Caan, only one thing comes to mind: Sonny Corleone.
Yep.
I've seen The Godfather so many times. I can quote every line. I've read not every, but so many stories behind the scenes videos. And some of the most interesting stuff was about James Caan, how he ad-libbed. He invented a lot of that stuff. He said, bada bing, bada boom. You know, that was all him that came up with those lines. So he was just great in that role. Everything he was in, he was great. And sorry to hear he passed.
Yep. Skinner, were you a Mr. Caan fan?
Absolutely. Misery was one of those childhood movies that scared the bejesus out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Can I say something real quick? I meant to say something about Misery. Not a big Stephen King follower or a horror movie, but that is a brilliant movie and brilliant work because it used real life people in a real life situation and real life mental illness to scare the crap out of you. I thought that was
you can picture it happening. You can picture that happening
easily. That's why you shouldn't run out of gas if you're a celebrity.
That entire movie practically was those two characters. It's a brilliant movie.
Totally brilliant.
Yeah. As a kid, Kathy Bates scared the crap out of me. I'm not going to lie.
Sure.
I could not watch anything she did for years. Obviously, as I got older and I was able to appreciate and go back and watch the movie again as an adult, because it's a fantastic movie. She deserved the Oscar that she got. And James Caan played just as good a role as she, in my opinion, as she did in that movie. But him as a Godfather and then the dad at Elf, he was a great character in the movie Elf, which, like you said, is a newer modern movie the kids today will know about. So, iconic guy. Sad that he's passed, but I will continue to watch his movies.
Yep, absolutely. I caught this today, advertisement for a new film coming out on Netflix, Day Shift, starring Snoop Dogg and Jamie Foxx, and they are vampire hunters. I don't need to read anything else. I'm going to watch this movie. It comes out on August 12th on Netflix. Jamie Foxx and Snoop Dogg. I don't really care what they're doing. those two, it seems like it'll be fun. I will watch that movie for sure. I love the idea of those two hunting vampires. Keith, what do you think about Day Shift coming up?
Because of what we talked about in pre-production meeting, I already know Skinner and I are on opposite sides of the coin. I am just Snoop Dogged out right now. I'm just like, God, man, I can't turn on the TV. He's on a roast. He's on a Corona commercial. He's on a cooking show. He's on the talk show. He's got a new singing show on that. I mean, come on, man. What
Don't
is
forget
up?
the Super Bowl halftime show.
Yes,
That's right.
I am just Snoop Dogg out. I'm not
This is
saying I
cool,
won't
man.
take a look at this. I've had enough of you, man. I've had enough. I'll check it out, but I've had enough.
Skinner, are you going to watch Day Shift?
I'm gonna have a hard time watching it. I'm a Snoop Dogg fan. Totally opposite of what Keith's saying. I cannot get enough of Snoop Dogg. But that Jamie Foxx, I have no desire to see anything that man's in.
Man,
What Jamie
wow.
did to you?
This is a family show. I'm gonna be good.
Okay, all right, we'll leave it alone.
Wow. Okay.
Hey, I got to tell you guys one of the greatest clips I've ever seen the other day. It was on the internet. It was some talk show, and there was this chick on there. I don't know who she was, good looking, black girl. And I'm just assuming, I guess she thought it would be cool to wear a Metallica t-shirt. And she's on there, and it was a call-in show. And some kid called in, and his question was for her. And he goes, name 3 Metallica songs.
They don't know that.
The look on her face was priceless. She had nothing. And I
They
named
don't know.
one. And she felt so stupid, man. It was so embarrassing. I loved it.
That's just all that stuff's retro now, man.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up because on this show, Stranger Things,
Uh-huh.
it's making the news right now that there's a metal kid character, now it's set in 1986, the show, the season. And he gets up, and to distract these demon bats, he gets up and plays Master of Puppets, and then they blend in the actual Master of Puppets. So now, that's now hitting the charts again, Master of Puppets. Peyton contacted me this week, my daughter, and said, I love this song. And I said, if you like that song at all, listen to the album. And she did. So it's like, here now, these new shows bringing in these, exactly. Bringing in these retro songs that we grew up with, and Metallica, of course, Running Up That Hill, also is making a huge comeback on the charts here. So, the bands are like, hell yeah, you're going to buy one of our shirts and wear it. It's like I said, it's all retro stuff now, man.
Yeah, I thought about it when Skinner said I'm a Snoop Dogg fan. I was going to say, name you one Snoop Dogg song.
Well,
it's all cool, man.
Another movie, Keith, that we saw this past weekend that also is bringing in retro music. Guns N' Roses was very prevalent in the new Thor: Love and Thunder movie. There's a lot of music. The kid was wearing a Guns N' Roses shirt. He had a Guns N' Roses poster. He wanted to be called Axl after Axl Rose.
We heard how many songs?
There was at least 4 or 5, but we'll get into more of a just real quick here. Initial thoughts on Love and Thunder. Are they trying too hard, or you like the light goofiness of the character Thor?
I get it. They try. The first couple of Thors kind of bombed our sales. Well, the Dark World did anyway. And they tried something new with Ragnarok. They said, what if we instill a little bit of humor in this? And it was great. I thought it was a great movie. But it was brilliant greatness, funniness. Like when he was about to fight and it was the Hulk that came out and he goes, I know him from work. Some kid gave him that line, but it was just brilliant from work. You know what I'm saying? I thought they tried a little too hard in this one. But with that being said, it was funny. The goats were hilarious. The fact of his hammer getting jealous of Mjolnir was brilliant. That was so funny. But I really would like to have my Thor a little bit more serious. But that being said, I did enjoy the movie. And I hate to see Thor suffer more loss, and I'll leave it like that.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's like I overall recommended. Storyline was okay.
Mhm.
Some good performances in there with Natalie Portman and
Kristen Bale.
Christian Bale was pretty good as the villain. Some serious moments, definitely. But almost every scene Thor's in, he's got to have some type of a joke or goop. The acts to being jealous, like you say, of Mjolnir.
Yeah.
I'm like, once or twice was fine.
Stormbreaker.
It didn't need to. Yeah, Stormbreaker. It was the entire movie. I don't know. So
Yeah.
some of the stuff I felt was
They
getting a
try a
little
bit too
tiresome.
hard.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know, man. I think that they're desperate to get his numbers up there with Iron Man or whatever, so they're trying this whole.
It's going to be
shtick.
hard to do that.
Yeah, there will be only one, Thor, but I mean Iron Man. But anyway, I liked it. I just it could have been better. Could have been better. It could have been different. Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie, I can watch her all day long.
Yeah.
God. And if you think she's hot in that, watch her in Creed. My goodness. But I thought the hair with Thor was a little too much. Glad to see he's back in shape now, because I hated that in Endgame, the old pear belly, whatever. He was like a Keith Thor. So, I enjoyed it. The fight scenes were legit. And just where he went to see, Zeus and all that stuff. That was like, wow, that was something for the eyes. That was something. Yeah. And then they had 2 extra endings. I don't know if people know that.
Yep.
Saw a lot of people leave and they missed it, and that was wow. Seeing who go to where. So it was cool to see him. Doll had a son with the eyes. All that was cool. I enjoyed it, but I just enough with the funny stuff.
And the little girl in the movie, Christian Bale's daughter. I did not know this, but that's actually Chris Hemsworth's adopted daughter.
I didn't know that. And of course, the people who do the acting, do the plays that happen with Thor and Loki. That's Hemsworth's actual really brother.
That's right. Yes.
Matt Damon. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. If you like those type of movies, by the way, go check out New Rock Stars on YouTube. New Rock Stars, and they point out everything. These guys they turn stuff out quickly. Super nerds, and I mean that as a compliment. They'll point out a lot of things that you miss. I don't care if it's a Star Wars movie, the series.
Oh, I would like that.
Anything superhero-y, Star Wars, whatever it is, they will put that content out there quickly and tell you what you missed and explain things at a deeper level. So it's definitely a nice compliment. Yeah, so check them out.
I watched them for Obi-Wan. That was very interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't like the fact that Asgard was New Asgard is a tourist attraction now.
Yeah.
I didn't like it in Endgame when they went to New Asgard. It was like, it's like a freaking fishing village. I mean, you're still Asgardians. Why do these people look like a bunch of old, stuffy people from the port of Maine? You know what I'm saying? They're still Asgardians. Where's the clothes? Where's the technology? So, oh well.
Yeah, some of it's a little strange. I don't know. But again, like you say, overall, if you're a Thor fan, worth a look.
Yeah,
and this is the direction they're going with it, and that's it. And if you don't like it, you're probably not going to like the next Thor movies that they make. I do like who they're introducing in the new movies coming up. We won't give it away here, so stay for 2 credit scenes, like you said, and you'll see setups for the future, which will be very cool with new additions to the universe potentially. So it's very cool. All right, we're getting low on time here, guys. Short on time. This week of pop culture history, I couldn't believe it was this long ago. So January 14th, all the way back already in 1999, is the first quote-unquote found footage film with the Blair Witch Project. Now, at the time, that was a whole different look and feel to a movie. It was very interesting and creative. And a lot of people believed it actually was real, and it was a low budget film that made grossed nearly $250 million worldwide, became one of the most successful independent films of all time. I thought the ending kind of petered out for me. It was a weird ending, but just the whole look and feel to it had you on edge. And if you watched that movie and then went out and did anything outdoors like camping or whatever it was, you probably scared yourself halfway to death with all that. So just a very simple premise, Never really saw the witch in the entire movie. It was just it was a whole different feel and vibe. So I thought it was cool, interesting, fun film. I don't think they've done it as well since. Any found footage film has paled in comparison to this one. So I thought it was pretty cool. Keith, what do you think about Blair Witch?
First, the only negativity, I agree with you. The indie left me could have been better.
Yeah.
Wasn't horrible, but it could have been better. I don't watch horror films now, but I certainly watched Blair Witch Project back then. I thought it was brilliant. Anytime you can use not only a little bit of money, but a little bit of less of the obvious to get your point across, I think it's brilliant. Some of my greatest low budget successes, Van Halen's Jump video, $600 and a camcorder,
Right.
and boom, to number one. And this right here, camcorder, 3 people mostly, in the woods, horrible footage, can hardly see it, no lighting. I thought it was brilliant. I wasn't going camping no time soon.
Yep. Skinner, were you a Blair Witch fan?
Yeah, I got anything else to add other than it was I think a $40,000 film that made, like you said, $240 million. Brilliant at the time. It was something I was never heard of prior to, and set the tone for future films of the like.
Another low budget, effective medium is advertising on this particular podcast, gentlemen. So we'd like to give the credit to innovators, the RPM Bike Shop.
Where's our check?
That's right. Family owned business in Carrollton, Ohio. No found footage here. This is real footage here, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. So quality electric bikes at an affordable price. Go check them out. Look them up on Facebook. All their contact information is there. They also have a website, RPM Bike Shop, and we appreciate their sponsorship.
Electric bikes are getting more and more popular.
Yeah.
And if you're going to get one, why not get the best? I'm telling you, you haven't seen any like these.
That's right. And
check
Keith,
on our webpage, or check on our Facebook or webpage. We've got a commercial promo that we took over Father's Day weekend. That's not up. We should get that up here soon. They can get firsthand look at the bikes.
Yes.
We're waiting for our check before Keith will edit and publish that particular video. Well, Keith, last week, we didn't shoot last week. One of the reasons we didn't shoot again is Skinner was away again, resting with his family, right? And yet again, this is two vacations in a row, Keith, that Skinner was called to be on the lazy river. Marcy's like, "Come on, we gotta get on the river again today." And again,
call me?
Well, but Skinner's again, his dedication again was, "Nope, I'm staying here in the room
and working
on the outro." That's right. So he lost one full day of rest, relaxation to bring you this outro.
Turn the volume up, people.
That's right. Bring it to the end of another episode. Skinner, whenever you're ready, sir. Sit back and relax on the lazy river out there, if you're so inclined.
Stupid!
This was my posture for 4 days, sitting in that. No. It was great to be away, but certainly missed you fellas. It was great to be back on the air. Good show this evening. We did have some content that was pretty powerful. Yes. I hope people learned from that. But for Brian Fisher and Keith Porter, I am Michael Skinner. We are the guys from Gen X. We appreciate you. We love you, folks, and we will see you next week.
And I'll see you tomorrow for dinner.
Yes, sir.
Right. Better be good.
Stay strong, Gen X.
Hey, Junior. Love you, brother. Hey, Joel.
Very good. Hey, this is Skinner from Came From GenX. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button and like, and we'll see you next time.